very quiet. Hang on, can I fix that? If I move my mic closer to my face, I probably could. Ah, beautiful. There we go. Right then. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to SRL Season 3, round number 3. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit here in Singapore, and a little birdie has told me we've got a wet race. If the damage model wasn't going to be hard enough for these drivers, we've now also got weather to play a factor. This is definitely going to be a very, very interesting race. To watch, we have 19 drivers, almost a full grid. We're just missing, out of our main drivers, we're missing Butler and Pete. Trying to work out who else. And Seb. There you go, that's the third one I was going to say. Got there eventually. Butler, Pete and Seb are the three full-time drivers not here. But they have, I think they've all got seats filled. Well, Butler hasn't, so there's only one Alpine. But Allied Squire is back as a reserve. He's in the Williams, taking Seb's spot. And then we have GRT Rambo returning, and he's currently taking Pete's in the Red Bull. Who's out on our lap first? I kind of want someone that's going to start a lap. I believe it's going to be Rambo. Alright, so we're on board with the Red Bull then. We'll do a quick track guide, I suppose, coming down into the first of 23 turns here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, braking right about the flag board. Does that all bit on the curve, has sent him into a spin. Very easy to do that. Okay, so we're on board with Clark then. Will be next, holding fourth gear down to third for turn 3. Now rounding what is technically turn 4, and then 5 now into turn. That's turn 5 now. Onto this DRS straight, the first of, well, the second of 3 around this circuit. Now into turn number 7. That little kink in the straight technically counts as a turn. Now turn number 8, braking second gear. Nice and smooth on the power through 8, now 9. Can go full commitment through here. We won't be seeing that at the moment. In Q1 anyway, but now through the section, it's absolutely gorgeous when you hook it up. The section just before the Anderson Bridge, which Clara has now just gone through. Second gear, short shift up to third on the exit. Maximising traction off the Anderson Bridge. Now down turn 14, the third DRS zone of the circuit, going into the last sector now. There's just nothing but corners from now on. Andrew currently sets the pace with 1:38.8, but this will be the first complete lap that we're watching right now with Clark. Alfa Romeo a little bit in the way at the moment. Hopefully they'll get out of the way as soon as possible. Just about, but maybe Clark a little bit unsighted. But it is only Q1 for the moment, so maybe the Ferrari not really bothered about that at the moment. Coming through the last corner now, chucks it in 5th gear. Across the line, it's a 36.1. It's a very good lap from the Ferrari so far. Paper Stream rounding the final corner in the Haas, goes 4th, 140.6. Almost 2 seconds clear of his teammate. Ooh, as his teammate gets in the way. I think 5 had just finished a lap, because he has got a lap time on the board now, but a little bit in the way there. Bradford, I think, coming round to finish a lap. Oh no, he's harvesting, so he's probably about to start one then. Reese is on a decent lap by the looks of it. This current moment in time, our current championship leader, 2 points ahead of Clark, on 27 points compared to Clark's 25. With our new point system, keeping things a lot closer at the moment. Hopefully that'll be the same vein for the rest of the season. 4.3 collective first 2 sectors for the Alfa Romeo driver. Hopefully he can hook up this last sector, and oh, what a camera that is. Car just switches through through the infamous Crashgate corner, where Nelson Piquet Jr. was told to crash to benefit Fernando Alonso back in the inaugural race here in 2008. Such a long time ago that we started this street circuit adventure, the first official night race on the calendar. The race crossing the line, 37.1 goes P2. But yeah, this is the first official race to be held at night. Until then, Abu Dhabi was added as a twilight race in 2009. Then Bahrain 2014 became another night race, and then Saudi Arabia and Qatar in 2021, also both being held under floodlights rather than sunlight. I saw a front wing somewhere a moment ago. So I don't know, someone might have had a bit of an off, but they're probably back in the pits now. Hopefully no one too affected by that. No one really on a lap at the moment. A lot of invalidations. Brando is on a lap, so right on board then with the AlphaTauri. Sporting a different helmet in the AlphaTauri this time, not using his pink and white one that I've seen him use for a long time. Lovely helmet is this one I'm currently looking at now. Very, very nice and striking. All the different shades of blue in the navy blue car as well. But Brando crossing the second sector split. 1 minute 5.9. First couple of sectors combined. I really hope at some point we get like actual sector timings like real life. That would be a lot better. Rounding the last few corners now. It's the AlphaTauri, only about 3 to go, but these corners can definitely make and break a lap, especially this last corner. If you chuck it in too much, you're going to clip the inside curb and spin. If you don't chuck it in enough, you're going to understeer off the track. Brando gets it pretty much spot on. P6 with a 1:39.6. Pretty reserved lap, I think, from Brando. Definitely got more in the tank. Allied Squire currently sitting in 3rd, but no one matching Clara at the moment. A bit of a... That's a story we had last season. We had one driver, LAT Joe. I think this was actually his... No, this was his second to last race. Bradford goes for a lock-up into turn 14. Yeah, this was Joe's second to last race last season. He raced this and Jeddah and then just disappeared. But it was Joe in the McLaren that completely whitewashed everyone this race. Pole by over a second. That pole time I have written down was 1:35.453. I could picture that being beaten, especially by Clar. He's only got to find another 6 tenths, and with track evolution and general like knowing of Clar, he's probably going to find a fair bit of pace. So I think we could definitely see that time being beaten. But also, on the subject of lap times, this track also hosts the infamous perfect lap, everyone calls it, Lewis Hamilton's 2018 pole lap of 1:36.015 in that Mercedes that didn't look competitive at all the entire weekend, and he went and plopped it on pole with a one-lap wonder in Q3. Or a wondrous lap, sorry. one wondrous lap, there we go. That's what I was trying to say, not one-lap wonder. Otherwise, all the Hamilton fans are going to come and kill me. Considering he has like 100 and something poles now, 104, 105, something like that. But while I was doing my research, I usually do. I'm going to kind of waffle at the moment because there's not a whole lot going on right now. I do a little bit of research for each track before the race, like while the lobby's been set up. And the current lap record holder of this circuit belongs to the Haas of Kevin Magnussen. As Hunt goes P6. And Havoc then goes P8 in Mercedes. But yeah, Kevin Magnussen holds the official race lap record around here of a 1:41.905 in the Haas. It was the 2018 Haas, so that car was pretty competitive. They got P5 in the Constructors that year. Was it 5? No, it might have been 6th actually. But they were definitely pretty good. They were fighting Renault for 5th. But yeah, I think the only ones that... Oh no, the only ones that finished ahead of them would have been Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. Then P4, I think P4 was Renault then. P5 was Haas. Because that's when Force India went into administration, they lost all their points. All that fun trivia, I suppose. But I think that's pretty much everything I've got on this sheet, I've already said. Oh no, track, guess the track info. 23 turns for the Marina Bay circuit, 3.146 miles or 5.063 kilometres. The cost of building this circuit was $33 million. I think that's, well, still very, very expensive in terms of a track, but I think we've definitely seen some trump that in the recent years, springing to mind immediately Abu Dhabi and of course Jeddah. Jeddah, I think, was like $1 billion or something. It was something stupid. It was a lot of money. Abu Dhabi was hundreds of millions. Ooh, Bradford grazes the wall. That might be damage. Oh, it's very wayward. This is a very scruffy end. Daleks has had a bit of a crash. Rounding the final corner is Brad, who completely cuts it and jams on the brakes to get into the pits at the last second. Let's catch up with chat. We don't talk about that. Oh, Apollo's out. It's only taken me 14 minutes of qualifying to notice that. Daleks I did notice because I saw a stricken car on the track. And then 5 Crown says, I love being blocked on both my laps by a Haas. As long as you recorded it, you can send it in. I'd imagine might be Gangster out, considering he's still on track. I'm not sure. But I'm sure if you send it in, we can have a look and go from there. Good evening, Reese. I'm currently sitting in P2 in this session, is the championship leader. Just noticed as well, it's improved to a 36.8, as has Rambo, so we have 3 people in the 136s now. Oh, that's a very big corner cut from the Red Bull. Oh, I need to sneeze, hang on. There we go. Make sure to mute my mic just so I don't have a big sneeze on stream. Greg Stars rounding the last corner, goes 4th in the other Red Bull, 1:37.3. Very good lap from one of the drivers for the reigning constructors team, at least. We're currently P3 and 4, although one of them is currently a substitute driver, the full-time not here. I can't remember the last time Pete missed a race. I think he missed one last season. It was like very early on. Very early. It was like the first 5. It was within the first 5. Richie goes for a huge lock-up into the wall, bit of front-wing damage. But then other than that, he stayed in for basically the entire season. Have we got a bit of a repeat? He's going to miss a race early on. He's going to come back. He's going to finish P2. But even then, with the point system being how it is, you actually don't lose too many points now. Always Despair almost goes into the wall and validates, crossing that little white line that looks like a road marking out of turn 3. That's a very validation, I'd call that. I've never seen anything like that, but currently the AlphaTauri at risk of being eliminated in Q1, as is Bradford. Eclipse currently P15, so he will be through as it stands, unless Despair and Bradford can improve. I think Bradford, yeah, on his way back out in the McLaren. Gangster Al retires. That's in the pit lane. He thinks he's done enough. As Brando goes for a crash. He's hit just before the Anderson Bridge. And Taz goes into the back of him. Just kind of caught the little end of that. On board with Eclipse. But the stricken AlphaTauri collecting the Ferrari, both of them now out of qualifying. That's the nature of no ghosting. But very unfortunate then for Tazonic and Brando as well. Now no longer taking any further part in qualifying. Rod and board then with the man under a fair bit of pressure right now. A lot of spare. Needs to get a lap on the board. Literally could just set a lap time. As he's got this and next invalid, so that's his qualifying over. He will be starting P16. But so that's very interesting. Might have got this and next at the last corner or so, but as Bradford goes for a huge lock-up again. He'll be the next driver to, I guess, set a lap time, but at the moment Eclipse is on a lap. Someone further ahead? Havoc's further ahead, so riding well with Havoc for now then. In the Mercedes, flowing through the section just before the Anderson Bridge. It's a very unique camera. Looking at the back, number 42 for Havoc. Out of turn number 13 into 14 now. 1 minute 4.5. Half a tenth improvement on his current personal bests. It's into this little fiddly section here at the end of the lap. Careful on the power, does that nicely. You've got the best part of 1,000 horsepower under your either your right finger or your right foot, depending on pad or wheel configuration. And it's very hard to tame at times, but Havoc doing a nice job so far. Coming over the line now is the Mercedes P6. Is the improvement. Eclipse has invalidated, so Bradford, the only driver left that can actually set a lap. And the McLaren, currently at risk of starting P17. But we'll only have 13 people in qualifying. Well, a maximum of 14. Minimum 13, depending on if Bradford can hook up a lap and get this done. And himself safely into Q2 in the McLaren one at 5.7. Oh, that's a huge lock-up. Really struggling in that corner. Might want to move the brake bias back a little bit, or just let off the brake a little bit earlier. But it's just cooking his tyres in this last sector. The car just not hanging on for what Bradford wants to do. It's rounding the last couple of corners now. Just keep it within the white lines. Basically just need to set a lap and you're through to the next part and you can have another bite of the cherry. Chucks it into the last corner. A little bit of understeer, but across the line, good enough for P11. Bradford is through into Q2, so we've lost a fair few then in retrospect to crashing and other incidents, but there we go then. So your top 13 that are through: FRT Clar, Reese, Simo, Rambo, Greg Starts, Allied Squire, Havoc, Andrew, Five Crown, Hunt, Paperstream, Bradford, Gangster Owl, and Richard. But those eliminated. We have Tazonic, Brando, Eclipse, Despair, Daleks, and Apollo. But Eclipse being eliminated, although he really shouldn't have. Unless he retired on track at some... Did his AI crash? I think his AI might have crashed and he's just been shafted. Because that usually happens. Like, because he crossed the line, he improved, like, to stay like P13. He was P13 for a long, long time. And then he's just ended up, like, what, P16? Behind, as well, mind you, behind two people that actually crashed. Being Tazonic and Brando. That's very unfortunate. I think we've had that a couple of times. I thought that was a thing of the past, but I guess that's bad. That's shame on me for expecting anything more from Codemasters and EA. But we'll have Andrew first out on track, closely followed by 5 Crown and then one of the Hasses. It's Paper Stream. And then one of the Red Bulls. Let's have a quick catch up on Chatto. Bobby does YouTube, aka Havoc. What a lap. I think I beat my time trial time. Well, good on you, man. That was a very good lap to watch the end of it. I didn't catch the entirety of it, but I think I caught from about the middle sector onwards. But it definitely looked lovely, neat and tidy. So definitely improve on that, I believe. And then Brando says, I'm really good at this game. You know what? Same. But I'm a bit intrigued as to how you were you on another lap? Did you like bounce off the curb and just get sent into the wall, or have a bit of a lock up? Not entirely sure. All I saw was your car in the wall before the Anderson Bridge, and then I saw Taz hit the back of it. Understeer. Oof. Front end not biting then, that's not a good sign. Extreme understeer. Ooh, did we regress back to F1 2016 or something, where the car, or 2015, where the cars just don't turn? But running on board with Andrew then, first lap of Q2 will be on the board by the Alpine, providing he doesn't back out, as he's usually known to do at the end of a lap in at the beginning part of qualifyings anyway, whenever I've tried to do little track like track guides and stuff. 5 getting out of the way of the Haas, but going through turn what is technically 6, I don't get why that's classed as a corner. But now into turn 7, the end of the first sector, 27.4. Looking pretty decent so far from the Alpine. Going track side to track side, really what you want to do at a street circuit. You just want to maximise the track width with whatever you've got to work with. Because there's no real runoff that you can use or anything like that. But through the Anderson Bridge now for the Alpine, down to second gear. Turning it in, didn't look like it wanted to grip there a little bit. Looked a little bit sluggish through the corners, but probably not pushing at the moment. There's Andrew, 1 minute 5.6, I think that's it. Now into the last sector, the fiddly section, as I like to call it. Coming to the end of the lap, fair few 90 degrees. Here, there and everywhere, especially these next 6 corners, or string of 6 corners at least, until you get to the last corner round about here. But Andrew clipping the curb, going very wide indeed. He might run out of ERS deployment here before the line, which he has done right before the line. 39.5. I don't think it's a very representative lap time so far. Rambo will be next, but Andrew definitely got more in the tank, I think. But the Red Bull with the beautiful Honda unwind sound. Absolutely love the engine sound of this car. Rounding the last corner now is the Red Bull up to the line. 38.6 is the new time for these drivers to beat. Allied Squire and the Williams upon his return. Rounding the last corner now. 37.1 immediately beats it. We'll have a... no, not the McLarens. We'll have Paperstream and Gangster Al. But then we'll also have Clark, so just try and keep an eye on those 2 Hasses. Clark comes into the pits. Gangster Al goes P4. Paperstream starting a new lap. Reese, I think Paperstream might have gone a bit wide at turn 1 there, but Reese now will be the next driver to come across the line and set a lap time in this first little part of Q2. At least a lot of yellow flags going on in the first sector, people getting out of the way and such, but Reese ran in the last corner, 36.7, new fastest lap of the session. Bit of a conga here, not entirely sure what's going on in this part of the section. This part of the course, we've got a bit of a Monza 2019 going on here. Gangster Al completely stopped on track. Brad's invalidated. RSF1 Hunt is on a lap, so there we go, we'll run on board with the McLaren. Coming into the end of the second sector now, just one more to go. 1 minute 5.6 in the middle and first sector combined. It's now into the first of the 6 90 degrees. Threading the car through, not overly aggressive, but it doesn't need to be at this current moment in time. Really want to just go for it on your last lap in Q3 when you've got nothing to really lose. It's a little bit unsighted, a bit deep there. Now through the penultimate corner, now to the last corner. Flicks it in, very conservative, but over the line, it's going to be a 39.4 from RSF on Hunt. 5 Crown, I believe, will be the next driver to come across the line for a qualifying lap. Tiny bit scruffy at the end of the lap, but chucks the car in, keeps it in 6th gear. It's a pretty decent last corner, 38.0 from the Aston Martin. As Clar is on an out lap, Bradford has invalidated. Paperstream starting a lap. I don't think anyone else is actually on a lap, let me just double check. So it will be Paperstream. The Haas coming through the first sector, or up to the first sector split now. 27.5 first sector. So far so good for the Haas. Oh, that's a very nice camera angle. Nice overhead shot. Now through the Anderson Bridge section. Or what used to be the Singapore Sling, should I say. I do really miss that corner, to be honest. So on the little 360 cam. It's a bit of a shame we can't kind of control where this looks, because that would have been brilliant. But now into the end of the first sector, 1 at 5.6. Pretty competitive so far from Paperstream. This could definitely put him maybe around about P6 at the moment. But drives over the curb, Cam. Lovely stuff indeed. Keeps well away from the right wall. Chucks it into the bridge. And rounding the last few corners now. The number 87 on the Haas. Rounding those last few corners now. And the last corner chucks it in, 6th gear. Opens the DRS, P6 with a 139.6. Very good lap from Paperstream there. Bradford coming to the end of a lap. On board with the McLaren then, see what he can do, and then I believe it will be Greg Stars next. Rounding the last couple of corners for the McLaren. McLaren probably looking to score some points this weekend. Both drivers actually here as well, so that's going to definitely work in their favour. But 143.0 is a pretty poor time from Bradford there. Probably had a big mistake of some kind through the lap. Clark coming into the second sector split. Now this is going to be very quick indeed. 1 minute 3.2. That is ludicrously fast from Clark so far. Now into the last sector. Let's just see how Clark attacks these curbs. Either side of that one there. Perfect line. Now into the bridge section. Chucks it in. 3rd gear. Keeps the car rotating nicely. And the last couple of corners takes as much curb as you like. Right out to the wall. Beautiful lines from Clark there. Chucks it in 5th gear. Immediately back up to 6th. Across the line. It's a 35.4 from Clark. And that's a 491. Half a tenth off of pole time last season. And it's only Q2. But that's a beautiful lap from Clark there. As Paperstream comes back into the pits. And you're on an out lap. This is Richard. It says he's on the mediums, but then when you look on the car it says softs. Havoc's retired. I think that's in the pits. Believes he's done enough. Wants to start on those soft tyres and then get 2 fresh sets for Q3. It's currently a yellow flag. Well, that's because Bradford has run out of fuel. But we're on board with Richard then, or off board with Richard, should I say. Just get some nice cinematic shots of the Mercedes going round. 27.9 for Richard in the first sector. He's tyres in the pit lane. Believes he's done enough. Well, 36.7, definitely done enough. For the Q3, I'd definitely say the top, or the top 5 are safe. Anyone below, maybe top 6. I think anyone below Rambo might want to improve. Just to be doubly sure, a little bit unsighted through before the Anderson Bridge. Richard, a bit wide at the hairpin as well. Still gets in the power pretty nicely. To the last sector now, on at 7.1. First 2 sectors for Richard. It's just got the last couple of very deep, huge lock-up. First of the 6 90 degrees. Under the bridge, chucks it in conservatively, just trying to keep it out of the walls. Very smart thing to do, to be fair. Gangster Owl retires in the pits. Don't think he's going to be safe. Especially if Greg Stars and Bradford improve. Let's see. Oh no, he's actually crashed out of the last corner there. And Richard... How's Richard retired from that? He's... I saw like skid marks. Did he hit the wall down the straight? I don't know if he was trying to avoid something. Did he get a puncture or something? He might have driven over a bit of debris, got a puncture, and then it got sent into the wall. A bit of chat to catch up on quickly as we watch Greg Stars go around at the moment. Waiting for the right moment to strike. Alfie definitely chose the right moment to strike there to completely send the opposition to the Shadow Realm. Currently 1.3 seconds clear. He says he's too quick. Alfie is definitely a quick boy. It's going to take a lot to match Clar. Especially a trout like this. This is where, like, if you're a proper sweat... Oh, that's very deep, and that's the front wing gone for Greg Stars. It's pretty much qualifying over for the Red Bull then. He's going to be starting P13 with no front wing, and I don't think enough time to get round. I'll have to wait and see once the... No, definitely won't. 1 minute 29. That's qualifying over for Greg Stars. Bit of a disaster. Bradford coming around the last... well, coming round to do another lap. RSF on Hunt, about half a tenth up. So far. Tired. Has Andrew got a puncture? Andrew's got a puncture. I was wondering why he's... So, has that also got correlation between Gangster Hour and Richard? That's incredibly interesting. I'll have to try and ask in chat what happened there. The Discord. Try and get a word on what's happened. That was very, very weird. We had Richard, well, Gangster Hour retire, then Richard retire, and Andrew has a puncture. Rounding the last corner for RSF on Hunt. He is pretty much safe at this point, so we can definitely stay here, but he's going to improve up to P8, 38.6. For the McLaren, he is definitely safe for that lap. Now it's just Bradford, the only driver left to see if he can improve and get through. Anyone else is safe at least. Bradford so far 3 seconds up, so that's definitely explained where his time loss came from on his first lap. I'll have a quick catch up a chat while Bradford goes around. 35.4 rookie numbers, mate, definitely. I mean, 1 point. Oh, Rambo goes. Oh yes, Rambo on. Oh, he's on the mediums as well. Has matched to the 1,000th of a second the 2018 pole time. Beautiful. Absolutely lovely stuff. Suspension failure. I don't think suspension failures aren't a thing at the moment. Oh, Brad goes very wide. Huge lock up. And if he got put off by the Alpine there, that could definitely spell disaster, unless he can find enough time to get ahead of a 39.6 in this last sector. Just driving, then his tyres just fly off. Possible. Oh, I don't know. I think he got a puncture and it sent him into the wall. That's my hypothesis anyway. Brad round the last corner. He is safe. P10. Both McLarens into Q3. Gangster Al, Richard and Greg Stars. The three eliminated in this qualifying session. Now we just got a few more corners to wait until the three-wheeled Alpine gets back to the pits and is able to retire from the session. That is a very interesting qualifying session. So far, we've had a couple of incidents. Not sure what's happened really. I like. Okay, so we just got to wait for Adam as well. Let's get back to the pits. In the McLaren, not taking any life out of those tyres because we're going to have to start on them. Rambo, the only driver opting for the mediums. No, Adam is now retired, so we'll be going into the Q3 shootout very, very shortly indeed. Brando and racetrack walls are now in a relationship. Congratulations, Brando. I do agree with Havoc there. Yeah, very much congratulations. I hope you have a very nice and fulfilling... Is fulfilling the right word? I hope you have a very nice relationship, I suppose. It's complicated. It's an abusive relationship. I get abused. Oh no. Okay, that's definitely not a good relationship then, so I definitely wouldn't say congrats. But to be fair, I mean, starting at the back at Singapore isn't exactly the worst thing, because you're going to be out of... pretty much out of everything. Right, all the carnage that's probably going to happen at turn 1. And 19 are going to be starting this race. Just got to keep that number in mind. Stone dead last soon. Brando to DNF evens. Is that the bet right now? So if I put like 50p on that, I'll get 50p back. Wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. So what's the odds of Brando to podium then? I'd like to put a bet on that. I'd put a solid a solid pound on that. Okay, so I'd get a grand back. All right, I'll take that offer. I'll bet a quid. That you'll get a podium tonight. But Alfie will be the first driver to complete a flying lap, but everyone currently warming up on their out laps. Just don't want to take too much out of the tyres. This track is very bad for overheating. It's so hard to keep the tyres in a good window at this circuit, especially this soft, so I can definitely understand a lot of people starting on those tyres. I'm going to guess the strategy is either going to be soft or hard. I could probably picture Alfie doing a soft to medium just because he's that built different. But other than that, I don't know, it's either soft hard or soft double medium. I'll personally go for soft double medium because then you can have a bit more pace, but then again with sim damage, it might not end too well. Right, so let's ride on board with FRT Clar then for the first lap of this Q3 session. 9 minutes left to go as the Ferrari crosses the line. down into turn 1, using all the runoff on the right-hand side, braking just before the 50-metre boards, just after the flag post. Now through turn 2, through turn 3. Doesn't use too much of the curb, but that's exactly what you want to do. You want to stay away from that curb at all costs, staying right to the left and maximising the run, or minimising the run, sorry, into turn number 5. Now DRS wide open along this straight through what is apparently turn 6, but don't believe. 26.4 in the first sector, heading down into turn 7, hard on the brakes, third gear, getting on the power nice and early, down in second gear for turn 8. Flicking the car nice and through, getting as close to that wall as humanly possible. Then this one, just to completely maximise the speed you can carry through there. Clara's done that very nicely indeed. Now through the old Singapore sling. And now the corner that catches a lot of people out, but it hasn't caught Clara out. Now down the Anderson Bridge into the hairpin of turn number 13. Out of the corner, a little bit of a wiggle in the Ferrari, getting the torque delivery down. But it's just not the one to put Clara off too much. 1 minute 3.5 in the first 2 sectors combined. Now through the tricky sections under the bridge. Here we go. Chucks the car in third gear, nibbles the curb. Now through the next one. Lovely stuff indeed. Now the second to last sequence of corners, which is actually the second to last corner, as close to the wall as you dare. Beautiful line from Clara there, rounding the last corner now. This is going to be a quick time. 35.9, it's actually slower than his Q2 time, but he's definitely got time to go again. But that was a very, very good lap indeed from the Ferrari. Now the Red Bull crossing the line, 36.1 from the Red Bull. Paper Stream next across the line in the Ferrari, in the Haas. And in the last couple of corners now is the cockpit connoisseur Paper Stream. Last corner now, 1:45.4. It might have backed off during his lap at some point, maybe letting the traffic go. Yep. Haddock next across the line, rounding the last corner now. Up over the line, 37.5. Pretty good lap there from the Mercedes. 5 is having a little bit of a conga with Clara. Hopefully they don't make contact, that wouldn't be ideal. RSF on Hunt, Bradford on laps right now. Bradford further down the track, 1 at 4.7. Brad improving on his last few runs and not locking up into turn 14. Definitely making progress there. Is Bradford a little bit wide there into, I believe, that's 16. But now under the bridge. I had to turn out of the corner there, just turned a little bit too early. Scrubbed off a bit too much speed. Might not affect him too much though. Last couple of corners now, very conservative from Bradford. Just making sure that he keeps the car where he wants it. Over the line now is the McLaren, 37.8. 3/10 off Haddock. RSF on Hunt, rounding the Anderson Bridge. Into the hairpin, very shallow line, that's definitely going to cost him on exit. That's definitely affected his run here. 1 minute 6.2. First 2 sector times from the other McLaren. Might try and rival his teammate here. I'll have to wait and see what his last sector's like. Brad's last sector was pretty scruffy. The middle of Hunt was the same. Rounding the last couple of corners now is RSF on Hunt. Chucks the car in third gear, keeping the throttle nice and steady, very close to the wall. Goes down into 6th, very wide. That's going to invalidate this and next. That's very unfortunate there. It just understeered off track, tyres not wanting to hang on at the last portion of that lap. 5 Crown will be the next driver to cross the line. Very, very close indeed to the Singapore Sling wall there. Under the Anderson Bridge now for the Aston Martin. Chucking into the hairpin second gear. Doesn't really short shift on exit. Hear the wheel spin a little bit of the Aston Martin Mercedes engine. 1 minute 4.0 in the middle sector. Now into the last sector now. All the 90-degree corners await. The Aston Martin. Really nice through the first set, now through the bridge. Oh, a little bit wayward on exit there. Car not agreeing with the torque delivery there from the bootload of power. Rounding the last corner now, up to the line. P3, 37.0 from 5 crown. SRL from Hunt is invalidated. Bradford pits. Paper Stream 8 seconds down. So it'll be Allied Squire will be the next driver. As Havoc retires, he believes he's done enough. As he says in chat, new personal best. Well done. Really decent lap there from yourself. Always nice to beat your personal bests. Allied Squire rounding the last corner now, and it's a 36.6 from the Williams of Allied Squire. I think we're not going to have a lot of people out on track right now. 5 corner cuts. Lovely stuff. Get a VAR check on that right now. Squire. Ooh, Squire's crashed out of turn 3. He will stay where he is as it's Q3. Unless people improve behind him. He's currently starting 3rd, even with a bit of a spin out of turn 3 by the looks of it. But just waiting now. FRT Clar on an outlap. Just about saw the Williams there. Alfie gearing up to start his last qualifying lap of this session. He's definitely got a bit more time to find in his lap. It's just hooking it together. It's all well and good knowing the times there, but actually delivering it is another matter entirely, especially a track like this. But I'm sure a man of Alfie's stature and capabilities is more than capable of getting the most out of his car when it actually matters. But so far is on pole, only by 0.2 at this current moment in time, so he probably will need to improve to see what happens. Wait, where's the nuke on wheels at? I assume you're talking about Despair. He is starting P16. He invalidated all his runs in Q1, so he was eliminated in Q1. I believe. But FRT Clar then. The last qualifying lap of the set, well for him, of the session at least. Rounding the last corner now is the Ferrari. Let's see where he can get with this lap. 35.9 is the time to beat. Let's see how much time he can gain. Clar through the first few corners, chucks the car in very nicely indeed. Keeps it in 3rd gear, a little bit of a short shift on the exit now into turn number 5. Chucks the car in, has to turn out a little bit, the car already getting away from him. So he's probably going to have a little bit more work to do than usual. With a couple of little corrections, let's have a look. Hasn't cost him too much. 200ths up on his time, but there definitely would have been a bit more there without those mistakes. Paper Stream on an outlap just ahead. Oh, that's very sideways from the Ferrari. Pushing so hard is FRT Clar at this current moment in time. Haas getting well out of the way into the Singapore sling. Chucks the car in. Rides the curb very nicely. Almost hits the wall before the Anderson Bridge. Chucking it through the hairpin. Tiny bit of a lockup. Has to turn out of the corner. Just looking at, or trying to find so much time here. It's 1/10 up at the moment. He's even found some, even with these little mistakes so far. But the last sector, can he find anything special to match his Q2 time? Or he's grazed the wall a little bit. I don't know if that's going to give him damage or not. Or is very understeer. It might have just got damaged. This might ruin his lap. But have to wait and see if he completes it. Oh, that's more damage. He's definitely got. He's backing out to Alfie. Oh, very deep trying to come into the pits with all the damage. Into the pits he goes. That is him not improving on his time. So someone else could be on for pole position here. If Rambo finds 2/10, he could do it. We have RSF on Hunt, who will be the next driver to cross the line on an actual lap. But a little bit deep before the Anderson Bridge. Chucking it into the hairpin. Doesn't take as shallow of a line this time. A fair few retirements so far. Andrew goes 5th fastest in the Alpine. Pushes Havoc and Bradford down. And they will not be improving. 4.8 for RSF and Hunt. The first 2 sectors Now the last couple of corners, can Hunt find any more time? Just keep it nice and neat, and there's probably 2 tenths already on the table just from being neat and tidy in this last sector. Rounding the last few corners now is the McLaren, using the curbs, not getting very close to the wall until the exit. Chucks the car into the last corner. Where's this going to put him? P7, just ahead of his teammate by 1/10 of a second. Reese now, well, it'll be Rambo next. He's 2 tenths up by the looks of it in the first sector alone. We'll have to see what kind of time he can muster. 6 tenths up. This could definitely be on for pole position here from Rambo in the Red Bull. He's just got to keep this last sector nice and neat and tidy. Does it for the first set. Now under the bridge, chucks the car in 3rd gear. Turns the car through the corner. Maybe a slight graze the curb there. I think it might have got away with it though. Rounding this penultimate corner now, a little bit of understeer, but rounding the last corner now up to the line. Is this going to be pole position? Yes, it is. 35.4. As Reese goes P3 with a 36.1. No one else is improving. It's so there we go then. GRT Rambo is the driver to steal the pole position away from Clark. It definitely looked like Clark was there for the taking, a pole position. It just couldn't muster the lap when it mattered. So as much as I was saying he's definitely a man to do that, he's I guess gone and proved me wrong. But that definitely adds a lot more spice to this race. But GRT Rambo taking pole position, a new personal, a new pole position record at least around this track by about 1/10 of a second over last. What was it? Hang on. 453. No. Okay. No, 473. A 200ths off. So the record does stay then from pole position last season. But 135.473 is the pole position time from the Red Bull of Rambo. Clark P2. Reese P3 for the Alfa Romeo. Alex Squire P4 on his return in the Williams. 5 Grand P5. Andrew sharing the 3rd row of the grid in the Alpine. 7 and 8 go to Havoc and Hunt. Hunt getting the measure of his teammate as well, Bradford in 9th. And then Paper Stream rounding out the top 10 in the Haas. Well, that was definitely a wondrous qualifying session to watch by the looks of it. But let's have a quick look at Chateau then. I lost force feedback in my base just before quali started. Can't feel the traction through the end zones, it's almost impossible. Bobby does YouTube. I'm gonna have to reload the game, it's glitched, I can't hear anything or do anything. Yeah, just make sure dash the game and reload. But this is very spicy. I knew this was coming, but then I completely forgot because of all the action in qualifying. But we have rain at the beginning of the Singapore Grand Prix here in SRL with sim damage. Most of our wet races always come in the opening part of the season. It's really annoying because we had Baku last season, we had a bit of rain at the end. Well, I guess the Brazil sprint race was wet. Because that was actually inters and wet, so yeah, I guess that counts as well. But we only had like 2 actual wet races, I suppose, last season. We had the kind of sprinkly stuff at both of the Britain races, near the end of the races. But this is definitely made for a bit of spice. But let's have a quick look at chat. P5 for Mr. 5. I'll throw another 5 in there for you as well. 5 laps until you're upside down in a wall. No, I'm joking. I don't think that'll happen. 5's usually alright, I suppose, at not crashing into other people. But pretty good. You got to finish P5 then. That's what you got to do. You got to stay P5 the entire race. Reese says quite happy with my last lap. Well, to be fair, P3 definitely nothing to be snuffed at. Front two just completely gone at the moment. So best of the rest pole position. It's definitely really good, to be fair, Reese. Pog says Reese for the dub. Reese is currently leading the Drivers' Championship. Back-to-back podiums. P1 at Australia, P3. No, P2. Hang on. Try and work it out. P3, because it was a Ferrari 1-2, wasn't it? Taz got, even with his penalties, he got P2 by like half a second in the end. But still, back-to-back podiums for Reese. Nothing to be snuffed at indeed. Still currently the leader of the standings over Klar by 2 points. But definitely have to wait and see what exactly happens this race. Probably going to be a lot of chaos. We'll be going at 9 o'clock. I've just double checked the Discord or notification that I got a moment ago. Right, what I'm going to quickly do now, because I think we had some issues with this last week. There was a load of mic crackling. I'm going to quickly go onto the Twitch screen and hopefully it'll reset everything, but it'll keep the stream running. So bear with me 1 second. Okay, right, I'm hoping the thing won't crackle this time, because it crackled at the end of the formation lap. I have got my other earphone in, so I can hear the stream in my right ear. So I'll hear it this time, because that's why I now wear earphones, because I didn't hear it last time, and it kind of carried on for like the entirety of the first lap, and it just wasn't the one. But, well, I'll see how it goes. I'll make sure I try and catch it as quickly as I can. Because I don't want it to last for too long. I tried unplugging my controller, and that's probably why it lasted so long last time. Am I in the session? I believe so, because I'm currently staring at the pit lane with a timer. So I think I'm fine. I disconnected from the game, then rejoined, couldn't hear anything, refreshed the game, still can't do anything. Oh dear. Oh, I was just reading that, it's okay, catching up on that then. Fair enough. I mean, I did disconnect at the beginning of quali as well when I tried to sort out the stream, because just Twitch is bad. I am, but can't do anything. Just wait for a moment. I think your car, you should be able to take control of your car at the end of the formation lap. But if not, then I really don't know, but hopefully it doesn't... Hopefully the AI doesn't like get in the way or anything. I know we have no ghosting and everything,